In a recent study of stroke patients, those who exhibited continuing deterioration of the nerve cells in the brain after the stroke also exhibited the highest levels of the protein glutamate in their blood. So the people who showed continuing deterioration, so they had a stroke, their brain kept deteriorating, the ones who did that were also the ones who showed the highest level of this protein.
So that's a correlation. Right?
Correlation, absolutely, yeah. Excellent, 100%. So we don't know if there's any causal link or not. They just know that these two things are happening together.
Yeah.
Maybe one is causing the other or vice versa, or maybe something else is causing both. Glutamate, which functions within nerve cells as a neurotransmitter, can kill surrounding nerve cells if it leaks from damaged or oxygen-starved nerve cells. Ooh. So if it's leaking from damaged or oxygen-starved nerve cells, then it can be damaging. That would create a causal relationship between the glutamate and maybe the deteriorating brain, right? There's a big question mark, though, with this sentence. What's that question mark?
If.
Both can and if. It says, if it leaks from damaged or oxygen-starved nerve cells. Is it leaking from these sources?
We don't know.
We have no idea. We know there's higher levels of it in the blood, but how did it get there? Did it get there from leaking, or did it just get there from a hamburger? No idea, right? The other thing is the word can. If it does this, then it can kill surrounding nerve cells. Does it? I don't know. Two big problems, right? All right, thus, glutamate leaking from the damaged or oxygen nerve cells is the cause of long-term brain damage resulting from strokes. That's a causal conclusion. It is the cause. It says the glutamate coming from these leaking places is the cause.
So this takes care of the can, but not the if. Or sorry, no, it takes care of the if, but not the can.
It doesn't take care of either.
It doesn't take care of either.
Because here's the thing. The conclusion says glutamate leaking from these sources is the cause, right? Does glutamate leaking from these sources even exist?
Yeah.
It does? In these patients?
No. Maybe just in the lab that they realize that if it leaks, it leads to.
Yeah, I mean, it could exist in some people.
Yeah.
Does it exist in these patients?
We don't know.
I don't think we know. Because again, the premises never said that. The conclusion is just asserting that, hey, glutamate that comes from these sources is the cause. Does it come from these sources in these patients? We have no idea. Right? So I would look for an answer choice that says, yes, these patients have glutamate leaking from whatever, these sources. If that were true, then that would substantially strengthen this argument, because we would now know that they do in fact have that source, that kind of glutamate. So A, any neurotransmitter that leaks from a damaged or oxygen-starved nerve cell will damage surrounding nerve cells. That's great. That kind of reaffirms something we already know, at least about glutamate, so it doesn't really help the argument. Are we cool with that? Answer choice B, stroke patients exhibit a wide variety of abnormal chemical levels in their blood. Okay, not sure how that has to do anything with glutamate. Glutamate is the only neurotransmitter that leaks from oxygen-starved or physically damaged nerve cells. It's the only one that leaks, but does it leak? You guys cool with that? Like C still does not answer that question. Leakage from damaged or oxygen-starved nerve cells is the only possible source of glutamate in the blood. And what do we know about these patients?
They have glutamate.
They have glutamate. So if they have glutamate, and that's the only possible source of glutamate in the blood, then they must be leaking. And now we know they're leaking, so everything starts to come together. That's got to be right. E, nerve cells can suffer enough damage to leak glutamate without being destroyed themselves. It's good to know, but doesn't.
I have a question. So did
Yeah.
you say that if it's a stroke in question, you generally want a weak answer?
No, you want a strong answer. You're looking for the answer that, if true, most strengthens the argument. So the stronger the answer, assuming it's on point and relevant, the more it's going to do to strengthen the argument. Any other questions on that one? Okay. You guys feel good about that?
Mhm.